It was the third week of boot camp, and everyone was starting to get the hang of the routine. Early mornings, grueling workouts, and endless shouting had become the norm. But even in such a strict environment, the recruits found moments to blow off steam. Private Johnson, known for his mischievous streak, came up with a prank that would go down in boot camp legend. One night, he whispered his plan to a few trusted recruits in the barracks. They would convince Private Simmons, the jumpiest recruit, that their drill sergeant's ghost haunted the camp after dark. Step 1 was planting the seed. During lunch the next day, Johnson casually mentioned to Simmons that Drill Sergeant Blackwell, who trained recruits decades ago, had collapsed during a brutal workout session and died right on the parade ground. "They say his ghost still roams the camp," Johnson said with an ominous tone. Simmons laughed nervously but couldn't hide the chill running down his spine. That night, as lights out approached, the team put their plan into action. Johnson rigged a flashlight to create flickering shadows and placed it under a bunk. Private Martinez, who had a deep, gravelly voice, practiced mimicking Drill Sergeant Blackwell's catchphrase, "You call that effort, maggot?" At exactly 2 a.m., Johnson nudged Simmons awake. "Do you hear that?" he whispered. Simmons rubbed his eyes. "Hear what?" A faint ghostly voice echoed through the barracks. "You call that effort, maggot?" Simmons bolted upright. "What the heck was that?" The flickering light cast eerie shadows on the wall, and Johnson gasped. "It's him! Blackwell's ghost!" Before Simmons could respond, Martinez let out another haunting wail, dragging out the word maggot, like it came from the depths of the underworld. Simmons panicked. He dove under his blanket and whispered, "This is not happening! This is not happening!" The prank escalated when Private Daniels, hiding outside the barracks, rattled the window with a stick. The clattering noise sent Simmons over the edge. He leapt from his bunk, shouting, "I'm sorry, Drill Sergeant Blackwell, I'll do better!" The entire barracks erupted into laughter. Simmons froze, realizing he'd been duped. "You guys are the worst," he muttered, climbing back into bed, red-faced but relieved. The next morning, as the recruits lined up for roll call, Drill Sergeant Parker strode in with his usual scowl. He stopped in front of Simmons, who was still shaken from the night's events. "What's wrong with you, Simmons? You look like you've seen a ghost." The recruits tried and failed to suppress their laughter, and Simmons groaned. From that day on, he became the unofficial legend of Ghost Drill Sergeant Blackwell, a story that would live on in boot camp lore.